The vanguard of the Galactic Confederation emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Sol system, its quantum arrays already scanning the third planet. High Commander Zextal stood on the bridge, his crystalline form refracting starlight as he studied the initial readings with growing confusion. "This cannot be correct," he muttered, his crystalline fingers tapping against the neural interface. "Run the analysis again." Chief Science Officer Nera adjusted her sensor arrays, her bioluminescent patches pulsing with concentration. "The readings are consistent, Commander. But they make no sense. Earth should have been simple to categorize." The Confederation had contacted thousands of emerging civilizations, each following predictable technological progression patterns. But Earth defied their models. They detected primitive chemical rockets alongside gravity manipulation technology, basic computer systems running parallel to quantum processors, and electromagnetic communications, mixed with what appeared to be primitive attempts at faster-than-light communication. "Perhaps their development is simply uneven," suggested First Contact Specialist Kira, her holographic form flickering as she processed the data. "We've seen cases of technological leapfrogging before." "Not like this," Zextal replied, his crystalline structure darkening with concern. "They're using technologies that should be mutually exclusive. It's as if they're deliberately maintaining multiple technological bases simultaneously." The vanguard continued its approach, staying well outside the range of what should have been Earth's detection capabilities. Yet within moments, their sensors detected a transmission directed precisely at their location. "Greetings, Vanguard of the Galactic Confederation. This is Earth Control. We've been expecting you. Please proceed to the following coordinates for landing." The bridge fell silent. The transmission had come through their most secure quantum channels, using encryption protocols that Earth shouldn't have known existed. "Commander," Naira's voice wavered, "I'm detecting energy signatures throughout the solar system that weren't there a moment ago." They're everywhere." Zextal watched as his displays lit up with thousands of points of light, stations, satellites, and structures that had somehow remained completely invisible until now. Many showed technology levels far beyond anything in the Confederation's database. "Take us in," he ordered, his crystalline form vibrating with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "But maintain full defensive protocols." The designated landing site was a simple clearing in a region humans called the Mojave Desert. As the vanguard descended, its sensors revealed layers of technology hidden beneath the seemingly natural landscape. Energy fields, quantum stabilizers, and systems that defied classification. A small group of humans waited below, just 3 of them, dressed in what appeared to be primitive cotton clothing. No military presence, no crowd of onlookers, no signs of the panic that usually accompanied first contact scenarios. As the landing ramp descended, Zextal prepared himself for the carefully choreographed first contact protocol. But before he could begin, one of the humans stepped forward and spoke in perfect Confederation standard. "Welcome to Earth, High Commander Zextal." The human smiled warmly. "I'm Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's diplomatic liaison. I trust you found our old hyperspace markers useful in navigating the Carina arm." Zextal felt his crystalline structure vibrate in shock. They hadn't told Earth their route, and the hyperspace markers he mentioned were classified technology that even most Confederation worlds didn't know about. "How do you," he began, "know these things?" Dr. Chen's smile widened slightly. "Let's just say we like to be prepared. Would you prefer to continue this conversation in your ship, or would you like to see our facility? We've prepared environments suitable for crystalline life forms." The facility she led them to appeared to be a simple concrete structure, the kind of building that would exist on any primitive world. Yet Zextal's sensors detected energy readings that shouldn't have been possible with Earth's supposed level of advancement. The door opened with an old-fashioned mechanical handle, but the atmosphere inside shifted instantly to match the exact crystalline resonance frequencies needed for his species' comfort. The chairs, appearing to be made of simple metal, automatically adjusted their molecular structure to optimize themselves for crystalline beings. "Would you like refreshments?" asked one of the other humans, introducing himself as Dr. James Martinez. "We can synthesize traditional Confederation enrichment solutions, or perhaps you'd like to try something local. Our coffee has become quite popular among crystalline species." Naira's sensor arrays were practically vibrating with confusion. "How could you possibly know how to synthesize?" "We're good at figuring things out," the third human, who introduced herself as Dr. Lisa Wong, said with a gentle smile. "Humanity has had a lot of practice at understanding different species' needs." As Zextal accepted a cup of the dark human beverage, noting how the seemingly simple ceramic mug maintained perfect molecular resonance without any visible technology, he couldn't shake the feeling that they had completely misunderstood what they were walking into. This wasn't first contact with an emerging civilization. This was something else entirely. And as he watched his hosts exchange knowing looks, he realized that humanity had orchestrated every moment of this meeting, probably long before the Confederation had even known Earth existed. The hidden legacy. As the meeting progressed in the deceptively simple Earth facility, High Commander Zextal found himself struggling to maintain his diplomatic composure. Every moment revealed new impossibilities that shattered his understanding of technological progression. "You seem troubled, Commander," Dr. Chen observed, taking a sip from her own cup of coffee. "Perhaps we should address the quantum elephant in the room." "You're not what you appear to be," Zextal stated flatly, his crystalline structure pulsing with barely contained agitation. "Everything we've observed about Earth has been carefully curated, hasn't it?" Dr. Wong leaned forward, her eyes twinkling. "What gave us away? The coffee molecular resonance, or was it the hyperspace markers?" "Both." "Neither." Zextal's form flickered with frustration. "Every civilization we've encountered follows clear technological progression patterns. You have quantum computing running alongside vacuum tubes. Antimatter drives next to chemical rockets. It's as if we're maintaining multiple technological bases deliberately," Dr. Martinez finished. "Very astute, Commander. But perhaps the more interesting question is, why would we do that?" Before Zextal could respond, Naira burst into the room, her sensor arrays pulsing erratically. "Commander, you need to see this." She projected a holographic display into the center of the room. "I've been analyzing archaeological data from across the galaxy, and I found something impossible." The hologram showed artifacts from dozens of worlds. Pieces of technology, ancient structures, mysterious energy signatures. These artifacts have been discovered on nearly every developed world in the Confederation. They've always been assumed to be remnants of different ancient civilizations, but I've found a pattern. The quantum signatures are all identical. "And they match Earth's technology," Zextal whispered, his crystalline structure darkening with realization. "Not quite," Dr. Chen corrected gently. "They match some of Earth's technology, the parts we've allowed to be discovered." The implications hit Zextal like a quantum shockwave. "You've been there all along, watching, guiding, protecting," Dr. Wong added, "though we prefer to think of it as gardening. Each civilization needs room to grow in its own way." Dr. Martinez stood and walked to a wall that suddenly became transparent, revealing a vast underground complex stretching for miles in every direction. Technology beyond anything Zextal had ever seen hummed with quiet power. Humanity reached what you would consider advanced spacefaring capability long before your oldest member species had mastered fire, he explained. But we learned early on that rapid technological advancement without corresponding cultural and philosophical growth leads to disaster. "So we made a choice," Dr. Chen continued. "Instead of racing to claim the galaxy, we decided to grow slowly, deliberately maintaining multiple technological levels to better understand and assist emerging civilizations. The Confederation isn't the first galactic community we've watched over, and it won't be the last." Naira's sensors were practically overloading. But the energy requirements alone. the computational power needed to maintain this level of intervention across thousands of light years. Dr. Wong smiled. Would you like to see how we manage that? Fair warning. It might challenge your understanding of what's possible. She pressed her hand against the wall, and suddenly the facility's true nature revealed itself. The simple concrete walls dissolved, showing layers of technology that seemed to fold in on themselves in impossible ways. Energy patterns that defied physics flowed through structures that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Welcome, Dr. Chen said, to what we call a nexus point, one of many we maintain throughout the galaxy. From here, we can monitor and, if necessary, protect developing civilizations. We use technology you would consider primitive alongside systems that even we don't fully understand yet. Systems you don't understand? Zextal asked, his confusion evident. How is that possible? Because we didn't create all of it, Dr. Martinez explained. Humanity isn't just ancient. We're the inheritors of something even older. The true elder species, as you might call them, left this galaxy in our care eons ago. We've been maintaining their legacy ever since, while adding our own innovations. A holographic display activated, showing the true extent of human influence throughout the galaxy. Hidden outposts, cloaked satellites, and dimensional anchors surrounded every major civilization, all carefully concealed behind veils of primitive technology. The Confederation isn't in danger, Dr. Chen assured them, noting their growing concern. But it is at a crucial developmental stage. That's why we arranged this meeting. It's time for humanity to take a more active role in galactic affairs. Why now? Zextal asked, though he suspected he knew the answer. Because something is coming. Dr. Wong's expression grew serious. Something that humanity has been preparing for since before your species learned to speak. And the Confederation needs to be ready when it arrives. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Everything they thought they knew about their place in the galaxy, about technological progression, about history itself, had been carefully managed by a species they had dismissed as primitive newcomers. And now those supposed primitives were revealing themselves to be the galaxy's ancient guardians, preparing for a threat they had foreseen millennia ago. Zextal's crystalline structure pulsed with a new frequency. Not fear, but anticipation. What do you need from the Confederation? Dr. Chen's smile returned, but there was steel behind it now. First, we need you to understand what humanity truly is. Then we need your help to prepare the galaxy for what's coming. The real question, Commander, is, are you ready to learn just how deep this quantum rabbit hole goes? Ancient Guardians. The Nexus Point's dimensional displays shimmered as Dr. Chen led the Confederation representatives through humanity's true history. Every step revealed new layers of complexity that challenged everything the aliens thought they knew about their universe. You have to understand, Dr. Chen explained, gesturing to a timeline that stretched back millions of years. Humanity didn't choose this role. We were chosen. The display shifted, showing Earth as it was eons ago. A primitive world, but one that caught the attention of beings that made humanity's current technology look primitive by comparison. The ones we call the precursors arrived when our ancestors were still learning to use tools, Dr. Martinez continued. They had watched countless species evolve, waiting for one that possessed the right combination of traits. They found that combination in us. What traits? Naira asked, her sensors struggling to process the massive data streams flowing through the facility. Adaptability, creativity, resilience. Dr. Wong counted off on her fingers. But most importantly, empathy combined with an unwavering drive to protect. They saw in humanity the potential to be guardians rather than conquerors. The display showed the precursors' first contact with ancient humans, not with civilization as a whole, but with carefully chosen individuals across different regions and times. The knowledge they passed down wasn't just technological. It was philosophical, ethical, a framework for understanding the responsibility of power. They taught us everything, Dr. Chen said softly. Not just how to build quantum drives or manipulate dimensional space, but why we shouldn't. They showed us civilizations that had advanced too quickly and destroyed themselves, species that reached for the stars before they were ready to handle the consequences. Zextal's crystalline structure pulsed with understanding. That's why you maintain multiple technological levels. You're not just hiding, you're learning, experiencing each stage of development firsthand. Exactly, Dr. Martins smiled. We could have abandoned chemical rockets centuries ago, but how could we truly understand and guide developing civilizations if we didn't maintain practical experience with every level of technology? The display shifted again, showing the true extent of human presence throughout history. Hidden observers watching over countless worlds, subtle interventions preventing disasters, guidance offered in ways that seemed to come from within developing civilizations themselves. But now something's changed, Naira observed, noting patterns in the data. Your activities have been increasing exponentially over the past century. Because what the precursors warned us about is finally approaching. Dr. Wong's expression grew grave. They didn't just leave us their knowledge. They left us a mission, a threat they foresaw but couldn't remain to fight. The facility's lights dimmed as a new hologram appeared, a massive void in space, moving between galaxies. Not a black hole or any known astronomical phenomenon, but something that defied normal physics. We call it the darkness between stars. Dr. Chen explained. It's consumed 3 galaxies that we know of. The precursors fought it to a standstill in the Andromeda galaxy, buying time for other species to prepare. They chose humanity to continue that fight. How long? Zextal asked, his voice barely a whisper. 50 years, maybe less, Dr. Martinez answered. That's why we finally revealed ourselves to the Confederation. We need allies who understand what's at stake. The darkness doesn't just destroy worlds, it unravels the very laws of physics that make life possible. Dr. Wong stepped forward, activating another display. This one showed technology unlike anything the Confederation representatives had seen. Ships that existed in multiple dimensions, weapons that could rewrite local spacetime, defensive systems that could shelter entire solar systems. This is what we've been building, hidden beneath our facade of primitive technology. The precursors gave us the blueprints, but they knew only humanity's unique perspective could perfect them. We've spent millennia preparing, advancing our understanding while helping other species grow strong enough to face what's coming. And now you need us, Zextal realized. Not just the Confederation's resources, but our different perspectives, our unique approaches to problems. Yes, Dr. Chen confirmed. The precursors chose humanity as guardians not because we were superior, but because we understand the value of diversity. Every species in the Confederation has something vital to contribute to this fight. The displays shifted one final time, showing the true face of Earth, a world that had transformed its entire solar system into a vast defensive network, hidden behind veils of seemingly primitive technology. Orbital rings disguised as debris fields, dimensional anchors masked as natural satellites, quantum computational arrays hiding in plain sight as simple communication networks. This is humanity's true legacy, Dr. Martins said proudly. Not just the technology we inherited or the defenses we've built, but the civilizations we've helped nurture. Every world in the Confederation has grown strong in its own unique way, developing perspectives and solutions we never could have imagined. And now, Dr. Wong added, we need those perspectives more than ever. The darkness between stars isn't just a physical threat. It's a challenge to the very nature of life and consciousness itself. We'll need every different way of thinking, every unique approach to problem solving, if we're going to survive. Zextal and Naira exchanged glances. Everything they had believed about their place in the galaxy, about the nature of technological progress, had been turned upside down. But as they processed the revelation, they began to see the elegant logic behind humanity's actions. What do you need us to do? Zextal asked, his crystalline structure glowing with determination. Dr. Chen smiled, but her eyes remained serious. "First, we need you to help us prepare the Confederation for the truth. Then we need to begin the real work, transforming our galaxy into a fortress that even the darkness cannot breach. Are you ready to help us make history?" The ancient machinery of the Nexus Point hummed with power, waiting for their answer. The fate of not just their galaxy, but all of reality hung in the balance. The coming storm. The Confederation Council chamber was silent as the holographic evidence concluded. High Commander Zextal stood before the assembled representatives of 1,000 worlds, his crystalline form pulsing with the gravity of the moment. Beside him, Dr. Chen waited patiently as the galaxy's leaders processed what they'd just learned. First, Speaker Koval, a being of pure energy contained within an ornate mechanical shell, finally broke the silence. "You expect us to believe that humanity, a species we thought barely capable of interstellar travel, has been secretly guiding our development for millennia. The evidence is irrefutable," Naira interjected, her sensor arrays projecting additional data streams. "Every major technological breakthrough in Confederation history shows traces of human quantum signatures. They've been helping us all along, disguising their interventions as natural development." The chamber erupted in overlapping voices and electromagnetic communications. Some expressed outrage at being manipulated, others voiced skepticism, while a few began to understand the profound implications of what they were hearing. Dr. Chen stepped forward, and somehow her quiet presence commanded more attention than the chaos around her. "We understand your confusion and anger, but we don't have time for extended debate. The darkness between stars has accelerated its approach." The chamber's massive display screen shifted, showing real-time footage from humanity's deep space monitoring network. The void between galaxies wasn't empty anymore. Something was moving through it, something that seemed to absorb not just light, but the very fabric of space-time itself. 3 days ago, Dr. Chen continued, it consumed the Canis Dwarf galaxy. 2 million inhabited worlds, gone in less than an hour. The darkness is no longer following the patterns we've observed for millennia. It's learning, adapting, hunting. The footage showed the darkness in action. It wasn't just darkness. It was an absence, a negation of existence itself. Where it touched, matter didn't just die or disappear. It ceased to have ever been. "This is why the precursors chose us," Dr. Martinez explained, joining them on the chamber floor. "They recognized in humanity something they'd never seen before, the ability to face the impossible and refuse to accept it. They gave us their technology, yes, but more importantly, they gave us time to prepare, to help other species develop in ways that could contribute to the coming fight." Dr. Wong activated a new display, showing the true extent of Earth's defensive preparations. The seemingly primitive solar system transformed before their eyes, layers of cloaking falling away to reveal technology that bordered on magical. Each species in the Confederation has developed unique approaches to science, to problem solving, to understanding reality itself, she explained. "We needed that diversity. The darkness cannot be defeated with technology alone. It requires perspectives that challenge the very foundations of what we think is possible." As if to emphasize her point, alarms suddenly blared throughout the chamber. The main display shifted to show a tendril of the darkness, impossibly vast, reaching toward the outer edges of the galaxy. "It's testing our defenses," Dr. Chen announced, her calm voice belying the urgency of the situation. "Humanity has maintained a network of dimensional anchors throughout the galaxy, hiding them within natural phenomena. But they won't hold forever." The chamber watched in horror as the tendril of darkness encountered one of these anchors. Space itself seemed to twist and fold, reality fighting against unreality in a battle that hurt to observe. Finally, the anchor held and the tendril withdrew, but not before leaving a region of space permanently altered, its physical laws subtly but irrevocably changed. "That was one tendril against one anchor," Dr. Martinez said grimly. "The main body of the darkness will bring billions of them. We need to begin full-scale preparations immediately." First speaker Kavul's energy form flickered with decision. "What do you need from us?" Dr. Chen's relief was subtle but visible. "Each of your species has developed technologies and theories that approach problems differently than we do. The Arthrosians understand biological computing in ways we never could. The quantum collective has insights into dimensional mathematics that even the precursors never achieved. The energy beings of Centauri Prime comprehend the nature of consciousness itself in ways that could be crucial. We need you all," Dr. Wong added. "Not just your technology or resources, but your unique perspectives. The darkness between stars isn't just a physical threat. It's conceptual, philosophical. It negates not just matter and energy, but the very ideas that underpin existence." Zextal stepped forward, his crystalline structure glowing with determination. "The crystalline concordat pledges its full support. Our understanding of quantum resonance patterns might help strengthen the dimensional anchors." One by one, representatives from across the galaxy stood to pledge their support. Each species offered unique insights, different approaches, novel ways of thinking about the challenge they faced. As the pledges continued, Dr. Chen activated one final display. It showed Earth's solar system again, but this time revealing its true purpose, not just a defensive network, but a template for what every solar system in the galaxy would need to become. "We have the precursors' plans," she announced. "We have humanity's determination. And now we have the combined genius of 1,000 species. Together, we're going to transform this galaxy into something the darkness has never encountered before. A unified defense that draws strength from our differences rather than trying to eliminate them." The chamber hummed with energy as ancient machines, hidden beneath its floor, activated, revealing the true nature of the Confederation's seat of power, another of humanity's hidden nexus points, waiting for this very moment. The race against time had begun. The galaxy's greatest minds were finally united, working together to face a threat beyond comprehension. And at the heart of it all stood humanity, no longer hiding their true nature, but ready to fulfill their role as guardians of all existence. Legacy of the Stars. 6 months after the revelation at the Confederation Council, the galaxy had transformed. Every solar system buzzed with activity as species worked together, implementing plans that had waited millennia for this moment. Dr. Chen stood at Earth's primary nexus point, watching real-time feeds from across the galaxy with a mixture of pride and apprehension. The Arthrosians' biological quantum computers have exceeded all expectations, Dr. Martins reported, studying streams of data flowing through the facility. They've managed to integrate their organic processing systems with our dimensional anchors, increasing their effectiveness by 300%. "And the crystalline concordat's resonance matrices?" Dr. Chen asked, though she already knew the answer. "Revolutionary," Dr. Wong answered, manipulating a holographic display that showed the galaxy-wide defense network taking shape. Zextal's people found a way to synchronize quantum frequencies across multiple dimensions simultaneously. The dimensional anchors aren't just stopping the darkness anymore. They're pushing it back. The display showed their progress. Countless points of light representing transformed solar systems, each one a fortress of physics-defying technology, merged with natural phenomena. The darkness's tendrils continued their probing attacks, but each time they encountered stronger resistance. "The energy being's consciousness translation matrix is online," announced first speaker Kavul, his energy form pulsing with excitement as he entered the facility. "We can now communicate directly with the quantum substrate of spacetime itself. We're not just fighting the darkness, we're teaching reality how to resist it." Dr. Chen nodded, but her expression remained serious. "And yet it keeps coming. Every probe reveals new strategies, new ways of unmaking existence. It's learning faster than we anticipated." The facility's displays shifted, showing the main body of the darkness as it approached the galaxy's edge. It was vast beyond comprehension, a void that negated not just matter and energy, but the possibilities of their existence. Where it passed, the constants of physics themselves broke down, replaced by nothing. Not chaos, Not destruction, but simple negation. All outer defense systems are ready, Dr. Martins reported. Every species contributed something unique. The quantum collective's probability engines, the Centaurian consciousness webs, even the youngest species had perspectives we never considered. That was always the point. Dr. Chen smiled slightly. The precursors chose humanity not because we were special, but because we could recognize and nurture the special qualities in others. Every species approaches problems differently, sees possibilities we might miss. Together, we're stronger than any single civilization could ever be. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. The main display shifted to show the darkness launching its first full-scale attack. Billions of tendrils, each capable of unmaking solar systems, reached toward the galaxy. But this time, the galaxy was ready. The dimensional anchors activated in perfect synchronization, their quantum resonance frequencies amplified by crystalline matrices. Biological computers processed impossible calculations in real time, predicting and countering the darkness's attempts to unmake reality. Energy beams channeled consciousness itself into the fabric of space-time, teaching it new ways to resist entropy. Where the darkness encountered transformed solar systems, it found not just resistance but rejection. The very laws of physics had been rewritten at a local level, creating spaces where negation itself could not exist. Each defensive system was different, reflecting the unique perspectives of the species that helped create it. It's working, Dr. Wang breathed, watching the data streams. The darkness, it's actually retreating from some sectors. Not retreating, Dr. Chen corrected, her eyes fixed on the displays. Concentrating, it's gathering itself for one massive assault. This is the moment the precursors foresaw. The moment everything we've prepared for comes down to a single point of decision. As if responding to her words, the darkness pulled back its tendrils and began to coalesce. The void between stars grew deeper, darker, more absolute. Reality itself seemed to hold its breath. All species, all systems, stand by. Dr. Martinez broadcast across the galaxy-wide network. This is what we've prepared for. Every unique perspective, every different approach to understanding existence. We need them all now. The darkness struck like a tsunami of unbeing, a wave of negation that threatened to erase not just the galaxy, but the very possibility that it had ever existed. It hit the outer defense networks with unimaginable force. And the galaxy responded. Countless civilizations, each contributing their unique understanding of reality, their different ways of approaching existence itself, stood together. The dimensional anchors didn't just resist the darkness. They began to transform it. Crystalline matrices channeled its energy through probability engines, converting negation into new possibilities. Biological computers processed its patterns, finding ways to turn its own nature against it. Energy beings reshaped consciousness itself, teaching reality new ways to exist. The darkness fought back, adapting and changing its strategies. But every time it found a new approach, it encountered defenses created by minds that thought in ways it had never encountered, species that understood existence through fundamentally different frameworks. This is what the precursors saw in us, Dr. Chen said softly, watching the battle unfold. Not just humanity, but all of us together. The ability to take our differences and turn them into strength, to face the impossible and find new ways to define possibility itself. The battle raged for what felt like eternity, reality itself shuddering under the strain. But slowly, inevitably, the combined might of a galaxy united in purpose began to prevail. The darkness, for the first time in its unfathomable existence, began to face something it couldn't simply negate, the combined will of countless species, each contributing their unique perspective to the defense of all existence. Finally, in a cascade of light and possibility, the darkness broke. Not destroyed. Such a thing was impossible, but transformed, its very nature changed by encounter with minds and methods it could not unmake. It retreated from the galaxy, but it was no longer the simple void it had been. It had learned something new, that existence itself could fight back, could change and adapt and grow stronger through diversity rather than uniformity. As the all-clear signal spread across the galaxy, Dr. Chen turned to her colleagues, human and alien alike. "This wasn't an ending," she said. "The darkness will return, changed by this encounter. And we'll need to change too, to grow and adapt and find new ways to defend existence itself." "Together," Zextal added, his crystalline form glowing with determination. "Together," echoed first speaker Koval, his energy form pulsing in agreement. The displays showed the galaxy beginning to calm, the transformed solar systems settling into new patterns of existence. Humanity's role as secret guardians was over, replaced by something far more powerful, a galaxy united not in spite of its differences, but because of them. The precursor's legacy had been fulfilled, but a new legacy was just beginning. And as Dr. Chen watched the countless points of light representing civilizations working together, she knew that whatever challenges the future held, they would face them the same way they had faced the darkness. Together, each in their own unique way, contributing to something greater than any single species could achieve alone. The stars shone on, their light a testament to the power of diversity, unity, and the unshakable determination to exist.